Alright guys, Papa Pepper here. My next video in the Advice from Papa series. Just trying to give tips, thoughts to consider, stuff like that for newer users on Steemit. Susie's Corner had asked me, when she saw me making a video, if I could maybe make one that touches on this, and it kind of turned into a series because it kind of is so inexhaustible. But I also wanted to kind of give it in just small, easy to digest, bite-sized, portions that you guys could maybe check out on a daily basis, have a little bit of food for thought, something to apply, and then get a little more encouragement the next day. So, hence we're on video 18, I think. Anyway, as I kind of have gone through this series, I've given you guys a lot of good food for thoughts about commenting, about posting, about non-original content, about attitude, about, endearing yourself to the community, contests, other things. One thing that I wanted to point out, and it's an interesting thing that I'm doing it today, kind of been saving this one for a little bit, but was just the opportunity you have to potentially interview other steemians. A lot of times, newer users have a lot of questions for people who are maybe more, successful in the platform or have been here longer that they would like answered. A lot of times this stuff is things that a lot of people are thinking and wondering. And a lot of times the older users don't always have the same point of view or perspective as newer users. Therefore, you kind of have an opportunity to interview other people. I think the first person who ever interviewed me was Budgie B back months ago. And Next Gen 622 has interviewed me. Ehi Boss is going to do one in a bit. Ogu Chukwu. And then Rahul.Stan, which is interesting why I said it just kind of happened today. But 15 hours from the time I'm recording this, Rahul.Stan made a post called "I interviewed some of the top steemians on various things that new users should and shouldn't do, and here are their responses." Now, even with 3 flags on the post, he's still got a potential payout at the moment of $183, which is pretty good and pretty fantastic. But if you actually look at that post, it's one of the best interview posts I've ever seen, probably the best post I've ever resteamed in my entire history on Steemit. I don't resteam stuff often, but I'm not even sure how many different steemians he interviewed, and I asked the same 4 questions to them all. And I read through some of the responses earlier, and it was interesting, kind of some of the overlap, some of the variation. But as I said with these other people, what happens is if you have some thoughts, some questions, some things you want to know about, and if you have an opportunity, there's been a witness interview series and other ones too. If you have an opportunity to talk to some whales, some other steemians, some kind of steemian veterans, some witnesses, what you can do is you can ask them your questions, as long as they know this is what you're doing. You can get these answers, and then you can kind of formulate a post out of it. First of all, you get your questions answered. Second of all, you get some great content and stuff to share with the community. I think that this post here, I resteamed it the other day. Find it in my feed, or follow Rahul.Stan and check it out. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's just fantastic. A lot of good stuff to consider and read. But as well, once you kind of open the door, you have a conversation starting, so to say, with whoever you interviewed. Potentially, you can get a resteem from them since you're doing an interview featuring them. Perhaps they will resteam your interview, and then you get exposed. You get your material exposed to a whole, wider spectrum of followers and people on Steemit. And I think it's a good thing for newer users to think about. You guys got a different frame of mind often. You guys got questions you need answered. You guys sometimes are struggling for content, thinking, what can I do? What should I do? You guys want to meet people. You don't want to just kind of sit down there with the minnows upvoting each other and getting no payout. You want to draw a larger audience and have some interaction with some of the higher ups, so to say. And I mean, even now, my vote's like worth 30 cents. Quite a bit compared to some, but nowhere near what some of the voting powers are capable of. So although I have a good follower base and a pretty high reputation, I'm certainly not where the power in this platform comes from when it comes to just the potential payouts and stuff like that. So that was kind of the bulk of what I wanted to share with you guys today. I think that a lot of things I've touched on lately, I mean, your attitude plays a huge thing, and I touched on that last post. But you guys have a potential here. There's still some issues getting newer users in at the moment, I guess, where people are taking a long time to get their verification to actually get signed up. So if you're in, you're at a wonderful place. Steemit's still young. It's just over a year old now. I don't think we've seen even close to what it's capable of as a platform, and I don't think we've seen the cryptocurrencies involved in it, Steem and the Steemback dollar, even reach close to what their potential value is going to be as this continues. Now, this has already revolutionized a lot of lives, and this has impacted a lot of people, and you guys have a real potential here. I'm glad you've joined us, and I'm glad that you're coming along this ride with us. So not sure if I'm going to continue this series at all. I think I kind of wrapped up mostly what I wanted to. If you have any question that you want an answer to that I've not already answered, either try to interview me or leave a reply after this video, and I'll try to discuss some of that tomorrow. So, steam on, pop out.